Welcome back to our show, your show, Let's Talk Stocks, and rejoining us for a continuation of the discussion on Throp-X and why you should give a chance, a thought to living and investing in Jamaica. Rejoining us is Winthrope Wellington of Throp-X. Welcome back to the show. The Jamaican diaspora. So they always want to be a part of what is happening in Jamaica. As you hinted at before, sometimes the news that goes out is not as encouraging, and you're changing that. How has the Jamaican diaspora reacted to this positive news coming out of Jamaica, even alongside the other things that they would have seen?
So essentially, in my experience, there's two camps. You have one camp who I would say they don't believe it and they don't want to believe it. And I personally feel like there is a bit of FOMO, if you will, like fear of missing out. And they left Jamaica and they're living abroad and they focus on the negative and they don't want to believe that Jamaica is moving forward and all this investment is happening on this exponential increase in valuation of property continues to happen year over year, right? And so you have that camp and the continuous naysayers. Then you have the other camp who are like, oh my God, I didn't know this was happening. I had no idea. And this is the camp that I focus on, that I'm with, and I am presenting information to that they otherwise wouldn't have been privy to. And the way I present my information is exactly that, is I'm giving you information based off of either my research or what's brought to my desk, and you can make a decision on how you want to, whether you want to act on it or not. But I do my best to bring just objective facts and information on what's happening in the markets here, and I do encourage people to move here. I do encourage people to bring your many decades of experience in whatever country or whatever profession that you are in back to Jamaica, because I believe it's us who are going to build the country. And when I say us, I mean Jamaicans who are going to build the country, whether it's Jamaicans who are living here or Jamaicans who are abroad that want to move back.
How easy a sell it is to get persons to invest in Jamaica?
I think it really comes down to the education and really putting things in perspective. And as much as I am an advocate for Jamaica and really believe in it, I always tell people, like, do your due diligence. Yes. Don't just come to Jamaica because I'm telling you to come to Jamaica. Compare what is happening in Jamaica to Florida, to Atlanta, to Portugal. Go global with it. And I even went so far as there's a gentleman that I met on Instagram who does what I do, but he does it for the DR. And his story is similar. He's a New Yorker that met his wife and moved to the DR. And I was like, hey, come on the show. I want to learn about DR. I want to compare apples and apples. And he came on my platform. And to me, this is the sort of due diligence that you need to do. And this goes for anything. Like, don't just come and listen to me because I have a YouTube channel. And you shouldn't do that with anybody else who's on the internet claiming to be this expert and know on all these whatever. And you do your due diligence and make the best decision for you and for your family. And that's really what I like to present.
You seem to cover a lot of the real estate and investments surrounding the real estate, hotel, Negril. What about like the capital markets? Do you present any of that?
Yeah, I'm sorry. We had a panel on that, as a matter of fact. We had NCB Capital Markets, and then we also had VM on a panel talking about the state of the Jamaica Stock Exchange and what the opportunities are, and they even went into like very nuanced specifics of what they are stocks that they are recommending at this time. And in the early iterations of my show, I had multiple financial experts come on, because especially in that realm, like, I don't know what I'm talking about, to be honest. So I want the experts to come on and give out the right information and give the best advice.
And Negril, it's beautiful. I mean, people love Negril. Are you seeing people just falling in love because of Negril?
So Negril finds itself like in an interesting impasse, right? And Negril started out as this very sleepy fishing village, and it's never really had this like long-term 30, 40-year plan. It just kind of naturally evolved, right? And I moved here 18 years ago, and I always saw like Negril and just Jamaica as a whole, but Negril specifically as having this great potential. And I've traveled to many countries around the world that I believe have far less than we do. Like they don't have the beaches that we do. They don't have the mountains. They don't have the rivers. They don't have the fruits. Oh my, like, and so much more has been invested and they've been giving so many more resources. And I always looked at Negril as this diamond in the rough and been like, why not us? Why haven't we progressed? And now we find ourselves in a place where people are finally starting to see the light. And we were talking off camera a little bit about the Negril International Airport that is online. And so you find that the sleeping village that attracted the hippies in the 60s and the 70s, those folks, they don't want Negril to change. And I understand it and I get it. And to me, we need to respect it. But at the same time, we have to look forward to the future, and we have to look forward to being a competitive tourism destination, not just Negril, but Jamaica as a whole. And when we look at other countries and other destinations and where they're investing and how they're investing, we do not want to get left behind. And I give you like a real quick example. If you look at Tulum, which many people compare Negril to, that Negril could potentially be the next Tulum sort of thing. And I have my opinion on that one way or another. But if you look at how and what they're doing, they invested in a new airport. Then now you can fly directly to Tulum. Now you look at Negril, you have to fly into Montego Bay, and unfortunately now with the traffic, you're probably looking at a 2-hour drive. And that's the same thing when you used to fly into Cancun, it's a 2-hour drive to Tulum. Now you no longer need to do that. On top of that, they have a train line that if you can't afford that direct flight, you can fly into Cancun and you can take a direct train there. So these are the sort of things that we need to understand and look to for the modern traveler. And we want to continuously be competitive. And we got to understand that tourism, whether you like it or not, it's Jamaica's golden goose, and we need to protect it as much as we possibly can, and we need to continue to be as competitive globally as we can. And we can't, in my opinion, we can't just continue to rely on just what has gotten us here. To me, we need to continue to feed it and give the resources that it needs.
One of the big things, well, two things that Jamaica, has stood out internationally. Certainly our creative sector, entertainment, but also our culinary. So in addition to Negril in its natural state, do you think there's scope for growth and expansion? Should we focus a little bit more on the culinary side, the street foods, the entertainment? Is there a greater need for greater development in those areas?
Absolutely, without question. So from my YouTuber perspective, culinary channels do exceptional on YouTube. I don't know what it is. People love to watch people not only cook, but also eat food. It's there's this type of category, I think it's called mukbang, like that type of YouTube. It's literally like a very close-up shot of somebody like eating a burger or eating ackee office or eating a pizza chicken. And I think our food is exceptional, world class. When I leave Jamaica for any extended period of time, the first thing that I start to miss is the food. And it's like one of those things that I think has so much potential in terms of capitalizing on from not only from like a media and YouTube perspective, but also even doing like culinary tours of people coming here. And with the YouTube, that's going to get people to want to come to Jamaica, and they want to experience it, and they want to taste it, and they want to learn how to cook it as well.
Absolutely. As we look to wrap, what would you like to leave on the minds of the viewers? Throp-X, Negril, Jamaica, diaspora.
Sure, and thank you for the opportunity. And I'd like to say that I personally believe that Jamaica is an absolutely wonderful place to live and to do business. And I feel so lucky. I'm super grateful to be here. And for the diaspora who are watching this, consider it. Highly consider moving back here, highly consider living here. And you probably, as the diaspora, like they probably have more to offer than they actually realize. Their presence alone will have a disproportionate impact on any community that they move to.
Absolutely great. I want to thank you very much,
Absolutely.
Winthrope Wellington, Throp-X, talking to you about why you should look for opportunities right here in Jamaica. He prefers in the grill though, by the way. It's always nice to live where others vacation. But as we say here on Let's Talk Stocks, we give you information to make better financial decisions. Come back with us tomorrow morning at 9, another insightful program lined up for you.